If you could do life over again, would you choose the family that you have, or would you choose a different family? As a survivor of childhood trauma, I suffered a lot of abuse in my household, in my family. So because of that, I would not choose my family again. I would choose another family. I remember growing up wondering, like, am I adopted? I just always felt odd and different. Overall, I was like, dang, like, I don't feel loved. I don't feel protected. I don't feel wanted. I don't feel cared for. What am I doing here? I used to always like hope that my real family would come rescue me. Real talk, y'all. I used to like remember watching some shows on TV and certain families, and even some of the white families, white and black. I would be like, I wish that was my family. And I know that TV is not real, but it looked better than my family. I just always wanted a loving family, a mother that hugs, tucks you in, and just have a close relationship with, like, a really good bond. I've always wanted that, and I never had it. A family that communicates. I've always wanted a family that had family meetings. Everyone had a voice. You know, children were respected, appreciated. No one was abused. And if someone did something wrong, they would apologize. That's the kind of family that I wish I had. And I don't feel bad about saying that. I just remember just my whole life just feeling alone, lonely, left out. It was a lonely life. Any decent times I experienced was all fake, you know? And people did things out of obligation, not because they truly cared and loved you. I remember one time after my mom beat me really bad, I was crying in the bed, and I was so sad and just devastated. And I remember hearing on the radio, they were talking about, oh, if you're being abused, blah, 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 call this number. And I remember wanting to call the number, but I was too scared to call because I was like, what if where I go would be worse than here? You know? And I don't know why I thought like that. I don't know if somebody ever threatened me before, but those thoughts were in my head, and I didn't really have any idea about the foster care or adoption life. So I have a feeling that somebody used to tell me I should be thankful for what I have, because it could be worse. But what I experienced was horrible. No child should have lived the life that I lived. Any loving parent would never allow their children to suffer in silence and never check up on them, never ask how you doing, never get you the mental health services that you needed. I was raised by parents that clearly didn't love themselves, clearly suffered their own trauma, and clearly never got the help, and clearly were not interested in getting help. You know, I mean, I am the second to the youngest in my family. So like you had time to mess up. But at some point, do you not get it right? But some parents, they just keep making the same mistakes. And that's what I experienced. And it's crazy because, you know, I would see my parents go to church, pray, get on their knees, ask for forgiveness, give their tithes and everything, but they were not humble when it came to their children. They're very humble when it came to adults, very humble when it came to the church, their religion, their God. But when it came to their children were treated like trash. Like, I feel like I was treated like I was the devil, because it's like, why did I get all this hate? Why this animosity? Like, the way my mom treated me, like, she treated me like she hated me, like she couldn't stand me, you know? And she only started treating me halfway decent when I became 18. When I graduated from high school, that's when she started to kind of, I don't know, she was like, well, she's big now. There's nothing really much I can do. I tolerated my family for as much as I could because I didn't have anybody else. That's all I knew. But when I finally started to grow older and older and wiser, going to counseling, going to therapy, I had to really detach myself. Like, I don't even get sad about it anymore. It's more like, what a shame. Like, what a waste. So yeah, I was raised by narcissists. And because I was raised by narcissists, I end up choosing a narcissist as a partner. And now I have to co-parent with the narcissist, you know? It's unfortunate, but you live and you learn. And I'm trying to raise my children toxic free, you know, as much as I can. I'm trying to be the best parent that I can. And I always try to make it right. And so if any of you have ever been abused by your family, I don't blame you for not wanting to choose them again if you had the choice to choose.